Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Hanamikoji and Geisha's Road.
Yes, what are you saying? We're taking a look at Hanamikoji? That's
Yes.
not a new game. No, it's not. But now, you can get it soon on Kickstarter. Hanamikoji and the new Hanamikoji Geisha's Road is coming to Kickstarter. With it, you have not one expansion, not two expansions, not three expansions, I need your help. Not four expansions.
Not 5 expansions.
Not six expansions.
7
Seven expansions! So
Yay.
today we are talking about Hanamikoji with the new expansions and also Geisha's Road, or Hanamikoji Geisha's Road, which it's called. This is not just I just had fun doing that commercial style thing.
But it's
and
not a
everything
commercial.
fits under the bed. If you
Yay.
buy now, you also get something else. I don't know if you
A
get
set of
anything
knives.
else. I don't think you
know.
do that. Yeah, if you order now, I don't know. You don't get anything else. You might get if
You
it's on
get to
Kickstarter.
subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Best deal ever. Yeah, okay.
So let's first talk about Hanamikoji. Hanamikoji is an amazing game, and as you know, this is going to be a review. We're going to talk about these games. But Hanamikoji is an older game and one that we do love.
Yes, we like it a lot. It's a very solid 2-player game and it has been featured in both our top 10 videos for 2 players. I don't know, games for 2 players.
And
yes.
we also already had it in Keeper of Kells, so this
Yes,
was just a
we did.
nice excuse to actually play a game we had already played this year.
Yeah.
And so first we're going to talk about this and the expansions, because this is pretty interesting. In this game, if you haven't played it, you're trying to play item cards at these different geishas to get control over them so that you can win, because that's how you win the game. And you do that by doing 4 actions. So every game you're going to have 4 action tiles in front of you, and you're going to do those 4 actions, and you're going to do them in the order that you choose. So depending on the cards you have and depending on what your opponent's doing, that's going to be very crunchy decisions usually in such a super easy game. And I was blown away when I saw these expansions, because these 7 expansions has 4 action tiles each, and they're calling it mini expansions. But I would say that every one of these actually changes the game into a completely new game. Obviously, it's the same goal, it's the same thing you're gonna do, but since the game revolves around doing the 4 actions in a good order, when you change out the actions, you change out the game.
Yeah, and that was it's hard to make call it a mini expansion when it's such a mini game.
But it's a small expansion. It's beautiful.
Is. And it is, and although some of these cards or action tokens feel kind of similar, it's a whole new set, and that also changes out the way that you play and the order that you do your actions in up a lot.
Yes.
So there's a lot of replayability in all these 7 small pouches.
Yeah, and I do not know the price for this, but I would guess it's not going to be super expensive. So
Yeah.
if you like Hanamikoji, or if you don't have it, I think getting these with it is going to change up the gameplay a lot. And all of these are not like you get 4 or 8, of course, 4 for each player. All of them are not unique. So it's not like, for example, in these 2 you have one of the same token I see here on the back, but it's going to change because you have the other ones are going to be different. So it's a mix and match and many different abilities that you can do. And I really liked it because we didn't get to play with all of them, but we got to play a few, and I can't wait to play the rest because
Yes.
and I do kind of if you play Hanamikoji a lot, and I think this would change up the game a lot. If you do not play Hanamikoji a lot, it will be a nice way to have different feeling of the rounds, because a couple of rounds we played felt pretty weird and strange and different. There was one of the expansions where you mostly play cards face down for the end of the game, or you mostly discard cards.
Yeah.
So in the game, it's usually some cards get played face down, some are discarded, some you play and you have I choose, you split, and it's changing up on I choose, I split, you choose. Yes, that's true. That's the name of it. And I really enjoyed the way that they changed that up. And I am really happy to have this and be able to play Hanamikoji now in 8 different ways.
Yeah, I agree. We play this so seldom because we have a lot of games that we probably wouldn't remember which one we haven't or had played before. You can play Hanamikoji with the same set of tiles and become better and better at it. Yes. It's a very abstract game with few luck elements other than the luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited to explore all the different play styles with this and maybe understand the game better better than I do right now.
So I think these are really, really good. I like this. I don't think I'm going to give like a rating to them because it doesn't make sense. So this is going to be like a rating less review.
Yes.
So that is cool enough. But then it also is a new game called Hanamikoji Geisha's Road. And before we go into this game has kind of the same feel of it. You're going to have 4 different action tokens, which means that all of these expansions can also be used in this game.
I like that a lot.
So you basically, if you buy these 2, you basically have then 7, 14, 16 different ways to play the game. I don't know if you could do this. You probably could, but I don't know if that's not something that they have like told you to do. So Geisha's Road is a new version of Hanamikoji, basically.
Yeah.
Because you have the same thing that you have cards in your hand, item cards in your hand, you have the 4 actions and you're trying to do them in the best order possible. But when you play now, you have the different colors have different numbers as well. In Hanamikoji, like red is 2 and yellow is 3 and so on. But here, blue can have 1, 2, 3, 4 and no, it's 1, 2, 3,
yeah, everything has 1, 2, 3, 4.
All the colors have 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you play that in front of you, you now have a rondelle where you move the geishas around from tea house to tea house, and you're trying to make them land exactly where they started on their color tea house, and that's going to give you points. You also have the guest expansion that makes it so that when you play a 1 or a 2, where the geisha move, you also get guests that you can score sets for at the end of the game. So it's basically taking Hanamikoji, the very simplistic gameplay, and making it into a much crunchier thing. It's a longer game, it's a crunchier game. Did you like it?
I liked it. I don't know which one I prefer because it serves 2 different purposes.
Yes.
But talking about Geisha's Road first, I think that it's very interesting because sometimes I have won one of the geishas, but it hasn't got me any points.
Yes.
Because you can remove some cards from the game, and that makes like not the geisha move around to net you more points, or the cards were played in such an order that she didn't land there multiple times. So a few times I've actually won something and didn't get any points from it.
Yeah, because it's the same thing as in Hanamikoji. You're trying to have the highest numbers here of item cards on your side, and you're trying to win that, and you can win the points that geisha has gotten.
Absolutely, and it's not just like the amount of cards anymore because it's not the same value. So I can see that I have a 3 and a 4 of this color in my hand, and I can be fairly sure that I'm gonna win it. But maybe not, because sometimes when you play with, especially adding these expansions, you can have a hard time actually getting the cards on your hand to yourself. So like balancing like the things that you're sharing with your opponent, and at which time, and also sometimes I really want to play something that isn't that good now, but based on what I have on my hand, I know that it will be worth more later. But because of how the geishas move around, I have to do it in the other order. Unless that, because other than that, I wouldn't get points for it. So adding that extra layer of information that you have to calculate makes it more thinky, but it's also very interesting.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, I think like Hanamikoji, I think like I like it better for its simplicity. This is kind of taking it to the next level. I really enjoy that. So if you want to play a 2-player game, it says 25 minutes. I guess you can play it in 25 minutes when you have played it a few times. It did take a little longer for us. We spent like 35 to 40 minutes. And the game can be shorter because you're playing like a best of 3. So if one person wins the 2 first round, they're going to win and you're going to end the game. But I think like it adds a bit more AP because the decisions in Hanamikoji is also crunchy, but these are even more crunchy because, as you said, you have the numbers and all of that. And adding the guest expansion, I think that adds a lot to the game. I felt like it needed that to be the best that it can be.
Yeah, those I split you choose actions were really crunchy when you had to like, oh, you're placing a 1 card there, then that means that with that I can pick up 2 of these visitors, which gives me a lot of points.
Or hopefully points.
But then that means that I'll give some majorities to you because you get the higher cards, which is a really cool thing.
It is. I think like it's a very good evolving of Hanamikoji. I feel like because there's different designers for the games, but I think like it's really cool that they're taking like the core concept and made a new game of it, and it's still a very simple, very easy to teach game, but it's so crunchy. So it has the same like Hanamikoji, Shadows of Kyoto as well. It's a really good game from the same publisher, and now Geisha's Road is another game I want to keep on the shelf, because these are some of my favorite short two-player games.
Yeah, and although they have a lot of similar elements and also have like expansions that works for both games, they actually are pretty different.
Oh yeah.
So I think that is very fascinating how well they've been able to like take it to a next level, but still make it unique and exciting. So that is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think both of these are really good games. If you, like me, for a long time had heard about Hanamikoji and never got to play it, this might be a great way to pick it up if you are interested, of course. If not, spend your money on other games. And when you are first there, I really recommend checking out Geisha's Road as well. It's a bit longer. I would like, if most of the time I would pick up Hanamikoji to play. So check out the prices, see if the package of everything. If that's not too bad on Kickstarter, I would also get all the expansions because they add to the replayability. Of course, if it's not interesting to you, other games are, but Hanamikoji is one I highly recommend to check out, and I really enjoy this as well.
I agree.
I think like I would rate this an 8 and rate this a 7 or something like that. Does that make sense? Like I think Hanamikoji is the better game, but I think this is also has a lot of good things to it and is evolving and making it a bit crunchier.
Yes, absolutely. And here you have to go for what sounds interesting to you. Someone will like this more because it's more to it, but then we like this for the simplicity of it, and they're both crunchy and both make me feel stupid. So
which is good in
well
games.
done.
So that is a quick taste of those two games, a little mini review, if to call it that. And it's going to be on Kickstarter soon, so go and check that out. And that's the end of the video. If you are still here and you have not subscribed, you can do it now by
clicking the subscribe button.
It's free and it's fun for everyone. It makes us happy like this. If you want to do something that's not free but still fun, you can go to patreon.com/boardgamingramblings and support us there to get behind the scenes videos and photos and our Discord channel where we talk about board games and stuff, obviously. And that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunna.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.